All right, people, it's time for one of the hardest poems to edit for this three quote series because, as you'll see in the video, three quotes ended up being like five stanzas. It's nothing, it's nothing, it's me, it's not you, it's me. This is the woman speaks to the man who has employed her son. This is the poet Lorna Goodison, for those of you from Jamaica. And as all of you are studying Caribbean poetry, this is one of the most beloved and prolific writers out of our regions and definitely out of Jamaica, giving us this poem whose title is as long as a sentence itself. I mean, subject, verb, object. We have a whole concept of what the poem is about, at least a little bit, just from the title alone. So let's go into quote number one. Quote one is challenging for me. It's challenging because it was hard to tell which part of the first stanza to choose, so I just went with the very first part of the poem. Her son was first made known to her as a sense of unease. But the rest of the stanza goes on to say, a need to cry for little reasons, a metallic tide rising in her mouth each morning. I could have gone on and on and on. The reason I love this quotation is because it provides organic imagery. It also suggests gustatory imagery. And there's a sense of the connection between mother and son. And this first line, I think the reason that I went with this first line is because that sense of unease carries throughout the entire poem. So, this very first line, that her son was first made known to her as a sense of unease, is a foreshadowing for the kind of despair and hopelessness that the mother will feel in the end of the poem. The second thing that I liked, and this is, I've already started the cheating. The second quotation that I liked is that portion where they say that her son, she carried him like the poor carry hope. If you look at this candle here, and hope is often symbolized in a candle, this candle, the way we have to carry it is very gently. We don't walk all aimlessly. We don't walk around in a hurried fashion. If we're carrying a candle and we are in a place of darkness, we carry it very, very cautiously, very carefully, because the hope that the candle symbolizes can be snuffed out, can be taken out at any moment. That brought me to quote three, and I thought I was doing okay at this point. I thought I was really acing it. I was like, yeah, we go in for three quotes. And so I chose this one as my third most beloved quote for this poem. She raised him twice, once as mother, then as father, set no ceiling on what he could be, doctor, earth healer, pilot, take wings. And then that's where I started having problems. Because for those of you who know this poem, this is where we started to get a little. But now he tells her that he's working for you, that you value him so much. You give him one whole submachine gun for him alone. The sarcasm, the metaphors hidden inside of both my quote three and my quote four. She raised him twice, once as mother, then as father, set no ceiling. I was having so much dissonance, so much difficulty figuring out which of these lines to use. And then I just kind of gave up because clearly by the time we get to quote five, we know that the whole point of this three quote series is a problem. The whole point is to just choose three quotes. But if you can find three favorite quotes in The Woman Speaks to the Man, you're better than me. Because then I came across this line and I couldn't leave this line out. She is wondering what kind of father would give a son hot and exploding death when he asks for bread. And if you look at the lighting of this candle, for something to give off light in this way, it has to burn. Oh my gosh, that's so deep. The other reason I like this quote is because it reminds me of that biblical scripture. Let me just see if I could let me I'm checking it as we speak. Right, Matthew chapter 7 verse 9 to 11. It's a portion of scripture that you want to check out while you study this, because this is a portion of scripture where God explains to us why he is superior to earthly fathers. He's not the kind of father to give us something that will bring death when we ask him for something that gives life, which really calls into question the kind of father that is depicted in this poem. Because the guy depicted in this poem, the father figure presented in this poem, this is not the kind of father figure that you want to present to anybody. She is prepared. She is done. Absalom, yes, I'm cheating. Yes, this is the sixth quote. But there's something about this that reminds me of the Our Father prayer, which ends with syllables. Um, and this ends with about 10 syllables. She is prepared. She is done. That's how many? Seven. Absalom, 10 syllables. There's something about the 10 syllables in this closing stanza of the poem that feels very final, that feels like a lot of acceptance, that feels as though this woman is giving up. She is no longer trying to fight this battle. She has taken to Knee City. She is done. Absalom. And those of you who are in my English B class would know who Absalom is and the importance of Absalom in this poem. I'm Ray and I teach English. This has been my review of The Woman Speaks to the Man Who Has Employed Her Son, where I gave you three quotations that I think you should memorize if you are going to study this poem. Like, subscribe, share with somebody who you think might benefit from this, and catch you in the next one. Bye for now.